England is first, Britain is first. But I do sympathise with the situation Israel in. They're a liberal democracy surrounded by totalitarian Islamic Sharia-driven shithole.
I notice you're wearing a shirt or a button that says "I'm a Zionist." What does a Zionist mean to you? What is a Zionist?
Well, a Zionist is someone who believes in a homeland for Jewish people.
Before we get into why Charlie Kirk is an incredible staunch Zionist, watch this amazing video of how he stood up for Israel during the war with Iran and how he asked and pushed for regime change in Iran for the Iranian people. Watch this.
This is just a quick one for all those who are against foreign intervention, as I would be in many nations. It doesn't work, hasn't worked. Look at Iraq, look at Afghanistan, look at Libya. There's a difference. If you take out the Taliban in Afghanistan, the people wish to be under Islam. They want to live under Islam. In Iran, the people want the total opposite. They want freedom. They're a free, loving people. So when I see what's happening now with Israel, if I'm honest, I wake up and think, fucking great. Smash those mullahs, free those people, let the women show their hair, let them party, let them dance, let them have their freedom. And that's not, I'm not for British Armed Forces going in there, but I am for helping the people of Iran break free from that Islamic supremacy, because it's a whole different kettle of fish with Iran and the Iranian people in comparison with many of those Islamic nations.
It's really just remarkable of how much Tommy Robinson understands the Middle East and appreciates the parallels between Israel standing up for the Western ideals and freedoms against, well, let's just call it militant Islam, which is taking over Europe. Watch what he has to say about what he sees in the streets of London and how it's being taken over by Islamic terrorists. Watch this.
Right now, we have had jihad attacks every year for 15 years. What we've seen since October the 7th is the takeover of our capital city every single week by pro-Hamas, pro-jihadi groups who are encouraging hatred on our streets. And the problem's been they're unchallenged by the police. Right now, we have had jihad during university. The university's been taken over. Why are the universities taken over? Because Qatar has bases in every Western nation. Qatar are funding the university.
רובינסון הורשע בהוצאת דיבה וביזיון בית משפט בעקבות סרט שיצא ובו האשים נער מהגר באונס. כרגע הוא נמצא מחוץ לאנגליה.
Tell you why they're angry. Because Hamas were allowed to overtake London, overtake our capital city. Every weekend, flying ISIS flags, Hamas flags.
Basically, Tommy is one of the few people who have not been bought off by Qatar money. He talks about that a lot in recent interviews. He sees what he sees in the streets of London, and he applies it to the rest of the world in his worldview. Watch the following interview from Vice Grad. Really amazing stuff of Tommy Robinson talking about basically what Israel's standing up for, why the world has turned on them, why they're right, and why they're the last beacon of hope against Islamic terrorism taking over the Western world.
You've had a pro-Israel stance for as long as I've known you.
Since the first day. So it's nothing like, people are like, oh, Mossad. It's like, oh, fuck it, really? Do you know why they say Mossad? Because when I went to Israel, I bought a Mossad t-shirt from the souvenir shop. When I went to New York, I bought a New York Police Department bloody t-shirt. I weren't in the New York Police Department, lads. And that's a bit stupid of me if I was Mossad to be wearing a Mossad t-shirt, wouldn't it? But I don't really care, yeah? And I'll tell you why I don't care. Because I look at myself if I was an Israeli and if I was Jewish. And I look at the history of what happened to Jews. And then I look at the argument from the left and from the Muslims and I think, where do you want them to go? Historically, it's their land anyway. Shut up, there's no argument about it, yeah? It's historically Israel is Jewish land, yeah? But there's 55 Islamic nations. Why can't they have one? Why do you, and how many of the Islamic nations are taking in the Palestinians? Egypt's got a wall twice as big as Donald Trump's.
Oh yeah.
How many are Saudi taking in? Qatar, none of them want to take them in. And then I look at the argument of the Israeli and Jewish issue, yeah? Mein Kampf, Hitler's book, is 7% Jew hatred. The Quran is 11%. If we get rid of the Israel land dispute, do the Islamists and the radicals hate the Jews or not? Yes, they do. But where are the Jews meant to go? Where do you want them to go? If they can't go to Israel, where are they meant to go? What would I do if I was Israel? And I look at the previous wars, the 6-day war, the 7-day war, I look at that and I see that the Islamic leaders of the Islamic nations surrounding them actually said, we're taking your women and we're taking your children as slaves. We're taking them as war booty. So they've been in this position where if they're not strong, they're wiped off the face of the map. Their daughters are being So what do you want them to do? You're fighting. Do people even understand who Hamas are? Hamas are ISIS influencers who are then promoting hatred against Israel, against Jews. And do you know why? Do you know why? Because it's easy. It's easy to be against Israel. No one's going to punch you up when you walk down the street. If you're pro-Israel, if you're pro-Hamas or pro-Palestine, no one's going to beat you up. You come out and start telling the truth or speaking up for Israel, everyone wants to get you. It's a difficult position, and I don't expect most cowards to take that position. I just tell the truth, and I don't really care. And that doesn't mean Israel's perfect at all. Far from it. Yeah. But when the American government were dropping bombs and invading every country, yeah, I didn't blame every American person. I accepted the Biden. England is first, Britain is first. But I do sympathise with the situation Israel in. They're a liberal democracy surrounded by totalitarian, Islamic, Sharia-driven shitholes.
All right, so check out in the description, by the way, there's a recent interview, Tommy Robbins talking with PBD, Patrick Ben-David, talking about how Qatar tried to buy him off. They offered him £3 million in order for him to not only just become a mouthpiece of Qatar and pro-Islamic, but they said that they would guarantee he would get a seat in parliament in the United Kingdom. Just wild stuff. Qatar had the ability to basically buy off members of parliament. Really crazy stuff. Tommy Robinson told them to go F themselves, more or less. He was wearing a wire even. Really crazy interview on PBD. But beyond that, this just goes to show that Tommy Robinson is a man of truth. He can't be bought off. He stands up for democratic ideals. He's protecting not just the streets of London, England, the whole UK, but also Europe and all Western civilization. And with the tragedy of the Charlie Kirk assassination, Tommy Robinson has become more important than ever. And the fact that he is so pro-Israel in such a public manner is really amazing. We must protect Tommy Robinson at all costs.